Hey guys, so obviously I'm back to Gyumri. I was in Yerevan for about 4 or 5 days. Um, I think I came back about 3 days ago, but I needed a little bit of time to readjust because for me, going to Yerevan, the 2 hour drive itself, and then going to the city is a little bit like overwhelming because it's very crowded there, and I've just always felt out of place when I'm in Yerevan. Um, Sometimes though, when you don't really go out, since I'm always at home in Gyumri, like you forget how much you appreciate the place you live and the sole reasons why I moved here and my connection that is so rooted to Gyumri, you know. Despite everything that happens, I love this place. So I went to go see a few people here. So what I was basically trying to say is it had been 6 months since I've been to the center of Gyumri because I live 10-15 minute drive away from the center, right in the middle of the earthquake zone. So, you know, with a lot of stuff that goes on here on a regular basis, a person forgets sometimes, you know, the connection that they feel to the place that they live because they get so sidetracked with the residue energy that's been sitting there, especially because I'm naturally a healer. You know, I do this alone. I do everything alone. So coming back and going back to the center, I saw Armenuhi, one of the Armines. She's Armenuhi. I gifted her a pearl necklace. She was so happy. There's a few photos before I upload this video. She's taking photos with me. That's one of the Armenuis, okay? And so yeah, she was very, very happy. This is the Armenuhi that she's one of the women that just like, we just naturally connect. I hadn't seen her in quite some time, even though I said I would go and see her. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. She was working at a Syrian Armenian restaurant and she randomly gifted me one of her like handmade crystal stone necklaces out of nowhere. This was like 2019 or 2020, I can't remember. And then for my birthday last year, she just gifted me money. She's so cute. So I'm like, I have to give back to her, you know? And I was supposed to give it for her birthday, but anyways. Here's the thing, you know, when you leave Yerevan to come to Gyumri, the people here are much more humble as a group of people. The energy in the people is so different. The environment, the energy in the place is so different. I just feel so much more connected here. I can't say that about the people in Yerevan. They're very stuck up. So it's been known that people here, they kind of like say like people from Gyumri, they're not really educated, but as a collective, I kind of feel like they're a little bit more intelligent here in other areas. They just don't. I'm not talking about the older generation men. I'm just saying in general. And the people here, they either love you or they don't. And that's what I like about it here, because majority of them are not fake. So like going in the marshutka, walking the streets, people like know me, they remember me all the time, you know, and they, despite my face, you know, it's interesting because when I was in Yerevan, people were always like asking me questions. Oh my God, you live in Gyumri, you must have so much courage and bravery, like you're an inspiration that in a very traditional, cultural and old-fashioned town or city that you live in, the people are so old school there. But can I tell you something? Walk with me to Yerevan. Walk side by side with me. Yeah, so walk with me in Yerevan and you're gonna see everybody staring at me and giving me weird looks. In the center. All over Yerevan. Okay? I recall even when I didn't have face tattoos and my body was fully tattooed, because my body is fully tattooed as above so below, people would always stare at me more in Yerevan than they do here. You would think, right? Here, they look for 2 seconds and they look away. They don't give a weird look. I mean, maybe once in a blue moon, but majority, it's no shocker to them. But in Yerevan, and you can come, if you don't believe me, you can come walk side by side with me. You're not going to notice people giving me weird looks here like that. But in Yerevan they do, and in Vanatsor they kind of do as well. So I'm going to be going to Dilijan mid-March. We'll see how the people are going to be looking at me there. But I really, from the bottom of my soul, I love this place, Gyumri, so much, where it's like, Yeah, so I love this place so much. Like, you would think after everything I've experienced, I just look at it as like, okay, I was doing everything during right after the war. People are just, it could have been way worse in other areas in Gyumri. Plus, I'm by myself. Like, I get tired. I've gone through hell and back over and over and over again. But like, just the feeling I get here living in Gyumri, it's just so different than I felt anywhere else in Armenia. To say this is my home. And not everyone's gonna feel that, but I've never felt like I connect with the dialect of the Yerevansis, the city itself. I can never say I can live I mean in Yerevan. The people feel fake to me. And then there's the diasporans who worry about me, and they're like, Talad, like, you're just really different and you've got a character and like the tattoos. But I want to say one thing to you. I've noticed people in Gyumri either really love me or they just... I've also noticed that the diasporans, especially in Yerevan, they're very jealous of me. Oh, how does Talat do everything on her own? I'm jealous because she has her own house. She does everything on her own. This, and this. And then they see me, all these tattoos. You're like, wow, you have courage. Like, they get in this state of shock. And they all have family members paying their rent, giving them monthly, money. And then here I am, I do everything on my own. And they're like, well, how did the people, why did you do this to your face? Like, you're so beautiful. But that's the thing. Before I did this to my face, everybody would just say, you're beautiful, Talar. They wouldn't look at me for who I am deep down. They wouldn't see my intelligence. They wouldn't see who I am to the core. And so now I've noticed I have people who actually respect me for who I am. And if they don't like my tattoos, go live your life. No one's telling you to like my tattoos. I'm not for everyone. I don't want to be your friend, So I just want to say one more time, as I always say it, I love Gyumri. I love my home. I always will. And sometimes I need to leave the city or / town or village, whatever you want to call it, however you want to perceive this place, in order to really appreciate. And when I say leave, all it takes is 1 or 2 days. Okay, and then I come back and I feel exactly how I felt the minute I walked into Gyumri the very first time. And it called me and it pulled me, just like my father's spirit, okay? So I know there's a lot of people who are very interested in me in my life, and they see me again. I can't tell you how many people in Yerevan, they're like, damn, for the many, many years, like, oh, Gyumri is such an old-fashioned place. How are the people viewing you? I'm going to tell you one more time. I have more respect by the people here. They respect me more than the people in Yerevan. Okay? That's it. And I just love this place. So, yeah, one more thing I want to say. I keep doing this. So one more thing I want to say is this shirt is way more appropriate for me to wear for the video. And it's like one of my favorite colors. So, gananch. Talar means gananch, green. So yeah, what was I saying was Evergreen is, by the way, my name. Look at that, I just broke my nail pad. So guys, just come to Gyumri, check out this place, see if you feel, it's historical place. I still have very strong intentions here. I'm here on my own, in Jewish be saying, I don't know, there's just a warmth here, there's a depth here, there's a meaning here. It's not as international here, not that I'm saying I'm against it, but it's far more cultural based here. And I just feel like people look right into my soul here, and they really, connect with me much more. So, for those people, when they find out I'm a local and they find out I have an apartment here that I actually bought, they end up... So I'll say it again, I've been living in Gyumri for 5 years straight, never left once, in a sense that never left the country. Within the 5 years that I've been here, I've been to Yerevan twice, Vanatsor once, Pambak and Lori once. I'm going to go to Dilijan, and then I'm going to go to another village in Lori again this year. But understand that even when the locals find out that I have an apartment here, since the beginning I purchased the apartment, and since the beginning that they knew me when I was part of all these organizations, that I told them I'm buying a house here, they all literally, it's a metaphor, they kiss my feet. Even from the doctors to the walk-in clinics to the dentist people, like all of them, their viewpoint, their perspective of you changes because they really honor and respect, especially the way I talk to people. They really love it. They see me more for who I am and not this. And that's what I'm here to do. And I just feel like, who's going to respect you if you buy an apartment in Yerevan? No one. So be the change you seek to see in the world, because you're leaving an impression on people. Me being myself is leaving an impression on people. Always has and always will. That's the greatest form of impact you can leave on people. And it's just different because when I come home, all my neighbors know me. People in marshutkas know me. People when I walk the streets know me. And I love that feeling. Because I have no family. I have no one. So it's something close to me that I resonate. So for people who always wonder why Gyumri, here are my answers, okay? Farewell. Goodbye. Until later. One more thing. I keep saying one more thing. When I say people know me here, they're all local guys. They're local people. They're not diasporans. They're not, majority I've said in my old videos. The diasporans, the handful of diasporans that moved here, they never bought a house. They just rent. And they moved here because I set intentions for them to move here. I helped for them to move here. I encouraged for them to move here. And I no longer do that. And I will no longer be a part of that. Because if they want to be inspired, I no longer will write them grants or give them that encouragement. I'm living my life. You can watch me on YouTube. You can watch me wherever, secretly being jealous of me. Great. That's your thing, not mine. But like I said, the people here, even in the marshutkas, man, they thoroughly, they come here and you'll know what I'm talking about. Bye. So for the people that don't really know me, because obviously I can't know every single person here that lives here. And a lot of people, they moved out since the war, or since 4 or 5 years ago that I knew, or they moved to Yerevan, or they went to Europe or Russia or Americas, right? So when we start chit-chatting and I tell them I have an apartment here, I bought it years back, ding, 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 all these things go off for them. And it's like, what? So they perceive me in a different light than just this, and they view me with more respect. And whether you see that as reality or not, come chill with me, come talk to these people, and you'll see I'm a psychologist, I'm a psychic, I'm an investigator. I can see through a core of a person. So if they're being fake, I can see. If they actually genuinely think that's amazing, I can see. And I'm telling you right now, 99.9, if not 100% here, the people, they view you different if you are actually a homeowner here. So if you actually bought an apartment here as a diasporan, or if you're, if you grew up here and you left and you came back, they view you very different and in a spirit of respect. You won't get that treatment in Yerevan. No.